You're welcome to Cstv News at 24 on Cstv. You can follow us on our social media handles at CSTVGH for more news updates. Cstv News 24 is brought to you by Yab Decorations, Sarah's Dreams Jewelries, Treats by Manel, KS Buffet Mix Company Limited, Rema Ushering Agency, Celeste Wheaton Brown, and Amasel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing. Now, in the headlines, President Mahama orders audit of Gripe Share Nut Factory. Coming your way, also 40 missing ECG containers found in a warehouse at Spo. On the international front also, powerful earthquake kills several people. There's a many more stories will coming your way, as well as weather reports. My name is Dr. Samantha. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still live on Cstv News 24 on Cstv. Now, to our first story for the day. President John Dramani Mahama has ordered a comprehensive audit of the Gripe Share Nut Factory, which has been non-operational for some time. According to the president, the Nana Addo Dankwa-led administration has took down over in 2016, not only depleted the factory capital, but also sold off stockpiled share nuts that could have been processed for revenue. Speaking during a meeting with the Ghana Cocoa Board, Coffee and Share Nut Farmers Association, the president emphasized the need for an audit to hold those responsible for the factory's mismanagement accountable. Moving on to other stories, former Tamale Central Member of Parliament Inusa Hussaini has expressed optimism that the Council of State will provide sound advice to President John Mahama on the petition seeking the removal of Chief Justice Gertrude Eseba Tukono. Speaking on an interview, the former Tamale Central MP Inusa Hussaini stated,
Speaker of Parliament, a lawyer, a trained lawyer, meaning lawyers on the Council of State, and to determine the prima facie case, they will help. And the Constitution itself, it doesn't leave the decision of determining the prima facie case to only lawyers. The committee to be established under Article 146 to have 3 non-lawyers. I think that the Council of State will do a good job. However, for all the honorable member into consideration in arriving at a decision, we want stability, we want independence of the judiciary, we don't want to compromise the principles of separation of powers. We are a country that should solidify the independence of the judiciary. So into consideration. The decision of this country to go is a separate way from the practice in the UK and from the practice in America. It's captured in the Constituent Assembly report of the 1969. In the UK, a judge is removed. A judge of the Superior Court of Judicature is removed by an address to the House of the parliament. So, and then in the United States, the justice of the Superior Court is removed by an impeachment. But yet, you see, it should be removed. A judge of the Superior Court of Judicature should be removed by a petition submitted to the president and the establishment of a committee. In fact, in the 1969 Constitution, that committee, your friend, the Judicial Tribunal.
Moving on to other story, the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Abdullahi Jinapor, has revealed that 40 of the missing electricity company of Ghana containers have been traced to a warehouse owned by an Indian national at Bo near Tema. Speaking in an interview, he commended national security and law enforcement agencies for their efforts in tracking down the missing containers. According to the minister, the warehouse owner claimed that the containers were sold to him last year. However, he stressed that the matter remains under investigations and law enforcement agencies will ensure that justice is served. The Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has established an 11-member committee to oversee the transition of senior high schools and senior high technical schools from the double-track system to a single-track model. The committee, under the leadership of Professor Peter Grant from the University of Cape Coast, has been tasked with assessing the current academic structure and formulating a comprehensive strategy for the transition. Their work will focus on addressing challenges posed by the current system while ensuring a structured shift to the new model. The Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party, Richard Ahiagba, has called on Ghanaians to raise and join the New Patriotic Party to defend the nation's environment, water bodies, and democratic rights, expressing concerns about the government's current trajectory. He urged citizens to engage activity in safeguarding the Fourth Republic and ensuring the governance remains within the confines of the law. Speaking at a press conference, he expressed concern what he described as the government failure to tackle illegal mining, also known as Galamsey, and its alleged use of state institutions to persecute political opponents. Moving on to other stories, the Ewutu-Beku District Police Command has arrested a couple for allegedly chaining their 9-year-old son in a bush for 2 days at Gomwa in the Gomwa East District of the Central Region. The suspect, identified as 35-year-old Bismarck Odwe and 33-year-old Xavier Atta, reportedly admitted to the act, claiming the boy was stubborn and needed to be disciplined. The child was rescued by a woman who had gone into the bush to gather firewood. In an interview, he stated,
Maybe since never pronounced chain at 2 days in it. See, anybody is one and another say, I was a man from there, the police station, and the report. Now, about don't you show quite often was a car out from Tendua, you're not by a quarter chance and never or your war or 2 school bus or big apple. Your call and Sankano. Was out to Okada station near Sankano. Now, say, the police commander asked the India for an award. I say, Ntama and Muno, you are from Baba. Sanapia one, Siadi Bako, Antonia, Chemse, man, I would do not match him. And I'm meeting him for one. I'm not with the chair tonight. I'm not to chair tonight. And the James Spencer.
More stories will come your way after the commercial break. Stay tuned. You welcome back from the break. In case you just tuning in, you're live on CSTV News at 24 on CSTV. We stream it live on Facebook and YouTube at CSTV GH. Now moving on to some business stories. The National Petroleum Authority has demonstrated its commitment to social responsibility as its acting chief executive Godwin Tamaklo led the delegation to the Volta region to donate relief items to victims of recent tidal waves in the Ketu South municipality. In a response to the devastation, the NPA provided essential relief items, including student mattress and 2 sleeper camp tenants, to ease the burden on affected families. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayen, has disclosed that the immediate past director of the National Signal Bureau, Kwabena Edu-Boahen, allegedly diverted up to 39 Ghana cedis million from agencies. Speaking at a press conference, the Attorney General outlined the findings of an ongoing investigation into financial irregularities at the NSB.
So the initial transfer of the 9.5 million Ghana cedis, which was the equivalent of 1.750 United States of American dollars from the private BNC to ISC Holdings. No further payments were made to ISC Holdings. A review of the transactions on the private BNC account reveals that after the payment of the 1,750,000, Mr. Edu-Boahen and his wife began applying the rest of the funds for their personal use, making transfers to local third parties, personal investment, as well as transfers to unknown persons. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen of the media, we have all the account details, we have all the receipts, and any person who took money from Mr. Edu-Boahen from that account, we know. Our investigation, which was conducted by EOCO, as I've indicated, has established that the ultimate beneficial, in essence, the difference between 49 million Ghana cedis being the money Mr. Edu-Boahen transferred from the bank account of the National BNC to his private BNC, and 9.5 million being the money he actually paid to the ISC Holdings for the software, ended up with him and his wife. That is to say that the sum of 39,462,480 Ghana cedis of taxpayers' money went into their private pocket.
Still in business story, Parliament has voted to approve the repeal of the Electronic Transfer Levy Act. During the second reading stage in Parliament, Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga stated an observation made by the Finance Committee that repealing the law would make 2 Ghana cedis billion available to Ghanaian citizens in the form of disposable income.
I rise to support the passage of the bill repealing the Electronic Transfer Levy. So, Speaker, the report says that if we pass the Electronic Transfer Levy repeal bill, there will be more disposable income in the hands of individuals and households. Why is it so? Individuals and households would have lost the money by way of the deductions imposed by the tax. If we repeal the tax, and then the individuals are no longer going to be making those payments by way of the deductions, the money will remain in their hands. And that is the basis for the committee saying that there will be more disposable income in the hands of the individual. It means that the money will now be available to them to spend. That is what disposable income is.
And now moving on to the international front. On the international front, a powerful earthquake rocked Southeast Asia, killing several people, bringing down a skyscraper under construction and toppling buildings and bridges in neighboring areas, where the ruling junta declared a state of emergency in some areas. Sudan's army said it had recaptured Khartoum's international airport, and a military chief flew back to the capital for the first time in nearly 2 years of war, bringing the military closer to regarding full control of the city from the rival Rapid Support Forces. Footage put out by the military showed Army Chief General landing at the international airport, kissing the ground and raising his fist in the air to troops as he emerged from the helicopter onto the tarmac. Airport Forces paramilitary group. We're going for a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Answer Company Limited. So we pay blocks machines here papa. Na ne bonso assign edda form dia. Enye na enwani Answer Company Limited. Your conveyor blocks machines, hydraulic blocks machines, pallets, any blocks machines in one accessories nyina. And na so blocks machines ahodro wo penny nyina bi nso ewo ho. Hwehwe ye kira kwan eneya. Ye was Spinters Road 18 Junction. Ye ni KFC dan no e na edi nhwe nimu. Freye, it was 05240 and I say 0540725850. Amstel blocks machines papa pa efie.
Welcome back from the commercial break. Now in entertainment stories, gospel singer Joyce Blessing has back in Paluta for the 2025 Telecel Ghana Music Awards Artist of the Year. According to the gospel artist, the Kumasi-based secular musician has worked tirelessly over the past year and deserves the title. However, she expressed concern that the award might elude him due to certain factors she prefers not to disclose. Also, Hollywood actor Idris Elba has unveiled his latest passion project, bringing African stories to the world through film. In an exclusive interview with him, Elba discussed his collaboration with local stakeholders and his vision for showcasing Africa's rich cultural heritage through cinema.
Yeah, I feel very privileged. I'm very lucky today. I know I did my family and my mom, who is Garth, proud. And it's very important to get the blessing from the chief for the work that we want to do, so that we can tell our stories, not just as the Ga tradition, but Ghanaian tradition and also African tradition. So I feel very good, very lucky. You know, we and my team have been working on this for over 4 or 5 years with the previous government, with the new government. And now we look like we're getting really close to get the endorsement from both the head of state and the chief today is significant. So I feel good, I feel optimistic. There's still a lot of work to do. This project will take 5 years to build, but it's going to restore the Osu Castle. It's going to build around the land near Osu, studios, a school, a huge community engagement with shopping and walks, and really show what Ghana has to offer, what Accra has to offer. We're going to expand on every story. African stories, Ga stories, Ashanti stories, Ghanaian stories, Sierra Leone stories. This is a studio for all. And I want it to be an international studio. Of course, we are definitely wanting to focus on the local stories as well. That's important. There's a huge youth population in Ghana that have lots of stories, not just in, and so this environment that I'm trying to build with my team is to encourage all to come. But it's going to be, you know, for everybody. Listen, you know me now, I love to teach, but we're hoping to have a multi-purpose environment. So music, live music, DJing, you name it. But like I said, the hard work begins now. Now that we have the blessing from the chief, now that we have the blessing from the president, we can go.
And our weather report is up next. Stay tuned. Now, weather report for today's afternoon. Sunny weather will prevail across all sectors with occasional cloud cover this afternoon. However, development of thunderstorm rate or without rain are likely to affect some areas along the coast, middle, transition and northern sectors from late afternoon into the evening hours. Draw today's news bulletin on CSTV, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. President John Mahama orders audit of Gripe's share nut factory. 40 missing containers found in a warehouse at Stone. On the international front also, powerful earthquake killed several people. And this is where we draw our curtains for today's news bulletin. CSTV News 24 was brought to you by Yab Decorations, Sarah's Dreams Jewelry, Streets by Manel, KS Rafimis Company Limited, Rema Ocean Agency, Celeste Sweet Tom Brown, and Amasel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing. For more news updates, follow us on our social media handles at CSTVGH. My name is Dorcas Mensah. Have a blessed weekend.